You're listening to Inside Lebo, a podcast giving you an inside look at Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, produced by Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office.
Welcome to Inside Lebo. I'm Rachel Windsor, Mount Lebanon's Assistant Public Information Officer and the Senior Editor of Mount Lebanon Magazine. And today's episode is brought to you by Trouvers Jewelry. So usually I co-host this show with Ian McMeans, our Assistant Municipal Manager, but today we are switching things up. So we're handing the mic over to our summer intern, Ella Magaw, who's sharing what she's learned about working in municipal government from the inside. In the first half of today's episode, you'll hear about Ella's experience, including what surprised her, what she enjoyed the most, and how this internship shaped her view of public service. Then in the second half, Ella is going to sit down with two of our longtime employees, Laura Pace Lilley, our Public Information Officer, and Ian McMeans, Assistant Municipal Manager, for a conversation about what it really takes to keep Mount Lebanon running and why they've chose to make a career out of local government. So let's get started. Welcome back, Ella. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as a refresher for the audience who met you earlier this year?
Yes, thank you for having me again. So my name is Ella Magaw. I'm a Howe Elementary, Mellon Middle, and Mount Lebanon High School grad. I'm currently a junior majoring in public affairs at Ohio State. And please hold the groans for Ohio State. I don't have any resentment for Penn State fans, I promise.
So we've loved having you on the team this summer. What's been your favorite part so far?
I really love the exposure I've gotten to basically every aspect of local government. I've gotten to attend commission meetings and write articles about the inner workings of municipal management and municipal government. I've met with a bunch of department leaders here, Eric Milliron, the Economic Development Manager, Andrew McCreary, the Finance Director, and Ian McMeans, who you'll hear from momentarily, to discuss their roles in local government. That was really interesting to hear about and learn about. And above all, I've really enjoyed going out into the community and writing about some amazing people and businesses.
Awesome. I'm glad you've been able to get a pretty well-rounded experience. And can you share about some of the things that you might have learned while interning with us, and was anything surprising to you?
Yes, so recently I did a fire and police ride-along, which was very informative. Because I feel like, especially myself and others, take for granted the safety of Mount Lebanon. I just always assume it's a safe place, but never really see what goes into that. So it was cool to see the things that people are doing every single day to make the community safer and better for everyone. And then municipal-wise, I've learned the Public Information Office is really central in collaborating with Mount Lebanon's various departments. And everyone here is truly working around the clock to write articles, help local businesses advertise, and really keep the public informed of the important goings-on in our community.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ella. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, Ella is going to take over as host for us.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry? At Trouvers Jewelry, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. Locally owned by Mount Lebanon residents Rob and Kay Trouver, Trouvers has specialized in exquisite craftsmanship and custom jewelry design for over 30 years. Rob is an expert goldsmith, ensuring your jewelry is created with the utmost skill and care. Whether you're looking for something timeless or one of a kind, Trouvers delivers it all. Visit us at the corner of West Liberty and Piermont Avenue, or check us out online at trouvers.com. At Trouvers, it's personal.
And welcome back to Inside Lebo. We've been talking with our Summer Public Information Office intern, Ella Magaw, about her experience. And in the second half of the episode, Ella is going to be wearing the host hat.
Thanks, Rachel. Laura, you lead Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office. I've been able to get a sneak peek during my internship, but for those who are not familiar with the PIO, can you walk us through what your team does?
Sure. I have to write it down because our office puts so much work together that I always forget something. So we do this podcast. We put together Mount Lebanon Magazine. There are 10 issues a year. The February issue is combined, and the July-August one is combined. We provide the content for two websites, mountlebanon.org, and this is haunted. We're haunted. mountlebanon.org and lebomag.com. So mountlebanon.org is our municipal website, and Lebomag is the magazine website. We have 10 social media channels. There is a channel for Facebook, for Instagram, and for X, for the municipality, for police and fire, and the Instagram channel for the municipality is the branding is for the magazine. So we put together 710. That is our bi-weekly push newsletter. You have to subscribe to it, but that includes information that is in the magazine as well as deadlines and all sorts of other things that we have to get out. We don't do all of the Lebo alerts, but we do the majority of the Lebo alerts. And for people who are unfamiliar, that is our subscription notification that's either text or email. We put together Lebo Emergency, that is our life-threatening notification system, which is phone calls, texts, or emails on call to actions that there's something life-threatening going on. There's an active shooter, there's a fragile elderly medical situation, a person who is lost, and we need help finding them. Don't send very many of those because they are sent to a very wide group of people. We have cable and stream TV channels where we have information and run additional announcements. We run some community events. We put together the Residence Academy in cooperation with the Civic Engagement Board. We do marketing and publicity for all of the municipal departments. I am the emergency communications person for the police and fire department. Rachel Windsor is my backup, so anytime there is anything serious going on in the community, we are a resource for them. The last thing we want is our first responders having to worry about social media or putting out a news release when they're supposed to be doing the safety work. And then I am also the staff liaison to the Civic Engagement Board, which is our 9-member board that helps keep Mount Lebanon residents feeling involved and wanted and welcome.
Mm-hmm. That is certainly a lot, and the office does a lot too. I know you guys help out other departments, which is big as well. So what is something that people might not realize about your job?
Well, obviously that was a long list of items. We do have 8 people in our office. Only 3 of them are full-time. The rest are part-time. So we are our schedules are gridded out over a long period of time. So that means we have to plan ahead. So probably the most important thing that I can tell people that they may not know, if there's information that you would like us to get out, please get it to us soon, especially for the magazine. Our magazine deadlines are about 8 to 10 weeks before the magazine appears in homes. And that's time for us to write it, edit it, get a photo, correct information, get contact information. So we want to get as much community news in as we can, but telling us 2 weeks before something is happening does not help.
Yes, for sure. So you've been a part of the team for 18 years now, and before that you were in print journalism and radio for many years. What keeps you excited working at a government job?
Well, all of those jobs were public service jobs in one form or another. I mean, when I wrote for the Post-Gazette for 9 years, and I felt it was my job to communicate with people about what was going on in their community. So it's very similar what we're doing here. My goal is for people to understand 2 major things: how their tax money is being spent and how decisions are made. And they deserve that information. It's also kind of a landscape right now where there's not a lot of other coverage. In the old days, we might, call up one of the media to tell them what was going on and they can help us spread the message. We're kind of working as our own agency and putting our own information out. So it's just important for me that we put out all of the information so people can make decisions that affect their families in a safe way too.
Yes, that's wonderful. So now, thank you, Laura. We're going to pivot to Ian. Ian, I know you've also worked in local government for years. Can you share a little bit about your background and what led you to Mount Lebanon?
Sure. So I got my undergraduate degree from Allegheny College. It was a master's in political science with a double minor in economics and writing, and then went to grad school at the Heinz College at Carnegie Mellon University for a master's of science in public policy and management. And when I was in grad school, I knew I didn't want to go into consulting. I knew I was more focused on kind of public sector type jobs, but I was looking at bigger levels of government, whether it was federal, state, county, not really looking at local government at all. And then someone in career services suggested to me that I look at local government jobs, and she said, I'll send you some postings if you're interested, you can apply for them. And I was a second-year grad student that needed a job and was applying to everything I could, so I started applying for a few local government jobs and was fortunate enough to get hired as the assistant borough manager in Dormont in 2010. I was there for almost a year and a half, and another opportunity came up for the borough manager position in Homestead, and I was fortunate enough to get offered that job. I was there for about 4.5 years, and I was living in Mount Lebanon with my wife and kids, and I was commuting to Homestead, which is 45 minutes, give or take, every day. And then this opportunity came available for this job, and I applied for it and was fortunate enough to get the position. So I've been here for a little over 9 years now as the assistant municipal manager and municipal planner. So it's kind of a dual role that I kind of wear two hats, being both the assistant manager and the planner.
Well, I know that everyone is very grateful to have had you here for so long. So what does your role involve?
Yes, so I'll talk about them both separately since they are somewhat two different roles. As municipal planner, my office handles all of the development projects that come through the municipality. Basically anything larger than one single family home being built has to come through planning for a zoning review and approval. It goes through the planning board, so I'm also the staff liaison to the planning board and kind of shepherd development projects through the planning board approval process. And then also the planning office is responsible for implementing the municipal comprehensive plan, which we just finished early last year. In January of 2024 it was adopted. So that was very exciting to have a new slate of goals and objectives for the next decade. And now we are working on an update to our zoning ordinance and subdivision and land development ordinance, which that's always kind of the compendium piece to a comprehensive plan. When a comp plan gets updated, usually shortly thereafter, you take a look at your zoning code and your subdivision ordinance to make sure that your zoning code standards meet what the comprehensive plan lays out for the goals of the community. So we have a request for proposals out right now on our website, and we're going to collect responses from prospective consultants and start up that project here very shortly, which is exciting. The other hat that I wear as assistant municipal manager, first and foremost, is if the municipal manager is absent for any reason, I take on the duties of the municipal manager. So a couple years ago, our municipal manager had to have some medical procedures done, and he was out of the office for a month or so, and I kind of stepped in as the interim manager during that time. If he can't be available for some reason for a commission meeting or some other meeting, if someone needs to represent the municipality, that's my job as the assistant manager. So being kind of that fill-in for the municipal manager in any other duties. Additionally, I wind up running a lot of special projects that span over multiple departments. So like when we did our parks master plan, there was interest from recreation because recreation activities happen within the parks. There's also interest from public works because they're the ones who maintain the parks. So I ran the project to make sure that everyone kind of played nice in the sandbox and worked collaboratively together so that we could have a good result that equally benefited everyone and make sure that we took everyone's perspective into account as we were working through that project. So I do run a lot of the special projects and programs that we have here in the municipality. I also am tasked with overseeing the deer management program. We've done policy updates to like the sidewalk expansion policy, which I know we have a story in the magazine about recently that you did, as well as some other projects that I've done over the years. So there's been a lot of various projects, which is one of the great things about this job and working in local government, is that there's always something different that can be done.
Yes, so if you can't tell by now, Ian knows pretty much everything about everything around here, and he's been working very hard on the website, so go check out mountlebanon.org to keep updated on everything he just talked about. And Ian, what would you tell someone interested in working in local government?
Yes, so this was not a career path that I ever really envisioned for myself when I was growing up. My parents were not at all really associated with local government. My mom was a school teacher, my dad worked in a steel mill, but having worked in local government for 15 years now, I can never imagine doing anything else. I absolutely love it, and I hope I get to do this for the rest of my career, hopefully in Mount Lebanon. I hope I never have to leave. I would love to just work in Mount Lebanon the rest of my career. So the thing I would say is that working in local government is the most direct, measurable impact you can have on a local community. That higher up levels of government that you get, you can do policies and things that impact more people, excuse me, but you can't necessarily see the direct impact of what you do. You know, if I'm able to get a grant to do a project in the park, I can go see the impact that has and what that's able to do for local residents, people in the community, people who use the park, things like that. So I think working in local government at its core handles essential day-to-day services, and I like to say so that residents can live their lives and not have to worry about things, right? Like, you live in Mount Lebanon, you don't need to worry about if your trash is going to get picked up, if fire or police is going to respond, if your street's going to get plowed in the wintertime, because we're here to take care of all that for you. So people can live their lives and not have to worry about essential services being provided, and that's what we're here to do in local government. It's very fulfilling work, and as I said, there's always something different. Just this morning I had a phone call with a developer and then went right into a phone call on a grant we just got and kind of the processes for filing paperwork for this grant that I applied for. And then, I'm working on some of our collective bargaining agreements with our labor unions. So there's a lot of different things, and local government does kind of use all of the skills that you have in various ways. So it's a very good kind of career for people who want to do something to give back to their local communities and be invested and be able to see the results of their work.
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing. And both of you, do either of you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Sure. One of the things that we love to do is tell people stories. So if anybody has a story that they would like us to tell, please reach out. They can reach me at L Pace. So I use my maiden name because L Lilley has too many vertical lines. You can't even read it. So LPACE at mountlebanon.org. So we would love to do that. And then the other thing is, we put out all of these types of communications. We want you to read them. It's very hard to get the word out if somebody says, well, I saw that, but I didn't have time to read it. So whether it's a Lebo alert or whether it's something on social media, some people are not interested in social media. So there's the website, there's the magazine. That's why we put all of these different methods out. So please take a moment to read it, and then please use that to get involved in your community. If there's a meeting, the elected officials are trying to make a decision, they want to hear from you. So that's it.
Thank you.
And I would say, big picture, having worked in other municipalities before I worked here, we do have a very dedicated staff who care a lot about the quality of life in Mount Lebanon, and I hope the people of the community realize how fortunate they are to have the depth of talent and breadth of staff that we have here in Mount Lebanon. A lot of small communities only have a handful of people that work in their municipal offices and really aren't able to handle a lot of the things that we're able to do. So we're very fortunate as a community to be able to provide the services that we do, and our staff does care a lot about the quality of life here and the residents that live here.
And one more thing. So if Ian and I sounded all like we'd be fun colleagues, all of our jobs are posted on mountlebanon.org/either employment or human resources. Both of those will get you to our jobs. So come work with us.
So you heard it here. Go to mountlebanon.org, and then right after, check out lebomag.com. Thank you, Laura, Ian, and Rachel, for giving me a whole new appreciation for the people working behind the scenes to keep Mount Lebanon running. It's easy to see you are not only knowledgeable and dedicated, but you also care about the residents and making this a great place to live. Whether it's publishing a newsletter, answering questions on social media, or managing a multi-million-dollar budget, there's so much that goes into making local government effective.
So thank you, Ella, and thank you to our listeners. That's going to be it for this edition of Inside Lebo, produced by Marcia Morgenstern, with music by Drew Monyo and graphics by Chris Leeper. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes, and we'll see you next time with more from Mount Lebanon.
Thanks for listening to Inside Lebo, produced by Mount Lebanon's Public Information Office. Learn more about all things Lebo at mountlebanon.org or by following our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages.